Hi friends, welcome to Upskill Academy. This is the part 6 video of Azure for Data Engineer series. In our last video, we have seen what is the blob storage in Azure. And in this video, we will be learning what is the ADLS storage Gen2 account and what's the difference between blob storage and ADLS Gen2 account and how to create the ADLS Gen2 account by uploading some files into it. Alright, we'll start now. So first, we'll discuss what is ADLS storage account. So Azure Data Lake Storage Gen2, it's a Azure storage service designed specifically for big data analytics. And this allow the big data tools to work efficiently with massive data sets. ADLS is nothing but it's a storage account, but it is specifically created for big data analytics. Those who are working with big data, for that, the ADLS has created. So ADLS Gen 2 is nothing but blob storage. It's a high version of blob storage where you can store all your data, and it is containing a folder structure, and it is specifically used for analytical performance. So the performance of ADLS is quite good compared to blob storage. So first of all, we'll discuss about the comparison between blob storage as well as Gen 2 account to make more understandable about what the difference between blob storage and ADLS, because both are the storage account in the Azure. So I have differentiate some difference between blob storage and Gen2 account based on their features, what the purpose, namespace, control, access control, integration with big data tools, use cases, performance for analytics, and cost. So these are all the difference between blob storage as well as ADLS Gen2 account. So in the high level difference, the blob storage is general purpose object storage, while the Azure Data Lake Storage account is for optimize for big data analytics. So the purpose of Azure Blob Storage is designed for general storage needs. That means it is based for storing the audio, videos, backups, logs, and application data. And it really works well when you store and retrieve the files. But ADLS is specifically designed to optimize the big data analytics. It is designed to optimizing for big data processing, data lakes, as well as machine learning model. And it is built to work efficiently with the tools like Apache Spark, Databricks, Synapse Analytics, and so on. Now, coming to the namespace. Azure Blob Storage is having a flat namespace, but Azure Data Lake Storage Gen2 account is having the hierarchical namespace. Blob Storage containing a flat namespace, that means no real folders are there, and everything is stored in object with the same name. But in the Azure Data Lake Storage, it is containing a hierarchical namespace. That means it's having a real folders and subfolders, and it is work really like a traditional file systems, and it support the directory level operation. So in the hierarchical namespace containing directory, we can create the directory. Under directory we have folders, and under folder we can create the files. But in the flat namespace we can see the directory as well as folders, but actually it not the files. It is just a overview about the files, or it just a virtual namespace of the file, but in the real case no file or folder gets created. So let me take you one example what does mean by flat namespace. So imagine you upload one file like this. Suppose in a flat namespace, if you upload one file like sales, under sales we have one folder called 2024, under 24 we have one file called feb, and under file we have one CSV file, data.csv. All right. So how the blob storage is treating about this file? It will treat like this is one folder. Okay. It is considering entire one folder. But how the data gets saved into the Azure Data Lake Storage Gen2 account? So whenever you are creating a directory, so one folder gets created like sales. Under sales, we have another folder like 2024. Under 2024 we have another folder called feb, and under feb we have actual data. data.csv. So you can consider this is kind of virtual folder creation in the blob storage. But here in the ADLS location, first directory gets created. Under directory we can create multiple folders, and under multiple folder we can create the files, and under files we can save our actual data. So that is called hierarchical namespace. And maintaining this hierarchical namespace is faster compared to only creating the files. So that is the important difference between blob storage as well as ADLS Gen2 account. Now coming to the access control. So ADLS provide the role-based access control. That means you can provide the permission on storage as well as container level. But here Azure Data Lake Storage provide the rollback access control as well as access control list. So you will get the permission. That means you support and provide the permission on folder level, file level as well as directory level. Here in our blob storage, you can only provide the permission on storage level as well as container level. But here in storage account, ADLS storage account, we can provide the permission based on directory level, folder level as well as file level. Now integration with big data tools. So integration of big data tools in the blob storage, it's limited integration and work but not optimized. But here you can provide the extensive integration with big data tool like HDFS, Spark, Synapse, Databricks, and so on. Now use cases. So if you want to work with, if you just want to take a backup, media storage, and archive folder, then you can use blob storage if you want to store the image, audio, video files, and so on. But if you specifically want to work with the big data analytics tool for big data processing, for handling the bigger data, for ETL pipeline, for data lake and machine learning data set. So you can consider Azure Blob Storage account. Now performance for analytics. So basic kind of performance you can see in the blob storage. It is slower for large directory scan and analytics queries, but Azure Data Lake Storage is superior for analytics workload. It has designed for big data analytics support. And obviously the cost of Azure Blob Storage having limited features, that's why cost is relatively cheaper than Azure Blob Storage, than Azure Data Lake Storage Gen2 account. And in the simple decision, if you want to, which you want to consider. So if you want just to need the storage files like audio, video, images, folders, and there is no heavy analytics and there is no heavy workload, then you can consider blob storage. And it is also a cost sensitive. Little bit cost is cheaper compared to blob storage. Sorry, Azure Data Lake Gen 2. But if you want to consider ADLS Gen 2 because of you are building the data lake, if you are using the Spark, Synapse, Databricks, and need a folder level security and performance, then Azure Data Lake Gen 2 is highly recommended for handling the big data analytics workload. Now coming to creating the ADLS Gen 2 account and uploading some files under it. So let me go to my Azure first. This is my Azure subscription. I have already created one resource group. My resource group name is RJ Upskill, and under that resource group I will create my ADLS. So in the last section we had seen about how to create the storage account, blob storage account. Now in this video we will be see how to create the ADLS account. So there is no much bigger difference between creating the storage account and blob storage account or ADLS. Only one setting we need to change. And while creating the blob storage account, you also need to search the storage account here. And creating the ADLS is having the same process, only one difference, and I'll tell you that difference, what kind of difference, what the checkbox we need to enable it. So let me go to the storage account, or else you can also search here the storage account. Once you click on the storage account, it will ask for multiple information. Last time we had seen lot of information how to create the blob storage, like what does mean by region, what is the performance, what does the mean by redundancy. Though there are four redundancy level: local redundant, geo redundant, zone redundant, and geo zone redundant. As well as we have also seen what does mean by access tier. So if you want to learn more about the access tier, what's the difference between the hot tier, cold tier, as well as what does mean by redundancy, you can watch my previous video. Let me go to the basic tab for creating the ADLS account now. And here I have select my subscription as well as resource group. I have created one resource group name with the name called RG Upskill. Now let me give the storage account name first. So I'll give my storage account name called ADLS, some name I'm giving, and remember the name should be unique. The region we had also discussed in the last video, what does mean by region, what specific region you can select and all. So I'm selecting the basic by default region called East US2, and preferred storage you can select anything. Here I'm selecting blob storage Gen2 account. Performance is standard because I'm just showing you for practical purpose. Premium can be recommended for scenario that require the low latency, and redundancy I'm selecting the local redundant storage. Same step you also require to select for creating the blob storage. Only difference between blob storage creation as well as ADLS creation is just you have to go to the advanced tab here and select the enable hierarchical namespace by clicking the checkbox here. As soon as you click the checkbox, your account gets created as a ADLS. If you read here carefully, hierarchical namespace, that means complemented by data lakes storage Gen2 endpoint, enable file and directory semantics, accelerated the big data analytics workload, and enable access control list, having lot of features which is specifically created for big data workload, big data analytics workload. And I'm not interested to make any changes in networking, data protection, encryption, tags, nothing. I'm just going to review plus create, and I'll create this account now. So validation in progress. Let me click on create. It would take at least 20 second to up to 60 second, maybe 1 minute to create this account. All right. The deployment is in progress now. Once the account gets created, we will first of all create the directory under it, or container. We'll first of all create the container. Under container, we will upload one file. Deployment is still in progress and deployment is complete. Let me go to the resource. Let me go to the data lake storage. If you observe it carefully here in the data lake storage, I am currently in my overview tab. Here the hierarchical namespace it is showing enable. If you are just creating the blob storage, then it shows disable. Hierarchical namespace equals to disable. But now it is showing enable. That means the storage which we have created is not a general storage, not a blob storage. It is hierarchical namespace. That means it is ADLS storage, which is created for big data analytics workload. Now let me go to the data lake storage here. And if I want to create the container, container is just the logical folders. All right, let me click on this container and I'll create one container called new container. You can give any name here and click on create. My container gets created. Let me go to the container first. And if I want to create a directory under container, I can create the directory by clicking on here. But if I directly want to upload any files, then I just need to click on this upload button. Once you click on upload button, go to the browse for files and select any file. Let me select any files like this CSV file I'm selecting. That's it. If you go to the advanced tab, you can see a lot of things like blob type, which blob type you want, block size, access tier, and upload to folder. That means you can also create one folder, and under that folder the file gets uploaded. But I'm not interested here to click or create any folder. Let me go to the upload directory. The file gets uploaded with the name called saleseurope.csv. Let me click on this file and you can see a lot of options under the file like overview, version, edit, generate SAS and all. If you want to see all the content or the records which is present in the file, just click on edit button. You can see the file content. Similarly, if you want to upload multiple folders or files, just click on upload, click on browse for files, select multiple files, click on open and just click on upload. That's it. That is how you can upload more files under it. And you can see a lot of details about the files like what is the last modified time, access tier, blob type, size, list state, and so on. If you want to delete any specific file, just click on the file, mark the checkbox, and click here on the horizontal dot and click on delete. The file gets deleted. All right. That's how you can create the files folder in the ADLS Gen2 account. Uh, that's it for this video. I hope this video is informative. And if you like this video, then please subscribe my Upskill Academy channel. Thank you for watching.